What up? It's K.Honesty, and I'm about to do a review of Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 8, Episode 6. So if you haven't seen Episode 6 of Season 8 of Tyler Perry's Sistas, turn this video off, go watch the episode, come back and watch this video. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel. It's a simple, free, easy, anonymous way to support my channel. I'm not a public speaker. I will tend to fumble my words and say and so and like 1,000 times. I may stop to regain my thoughts. I may slow my speaking down to regain my thoughts. Anything I say is my opinion. It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Comment below what you would grade this week's episode, what you thought of this week's episode. If I forget anything, if I'm off on anything, let me know in the comments. I like to grade the episodes before and after my reviews. Did I say anything I say is my opinion? It does not reflect anyone or anything associated with the show. Either way, I like to I like to grade the episode before and after my reviews. I'm so sorry because I'm mad because I just did the review of this show and I accidentally deleted it, and I deleted it from my recently deleted, so I have to do it all over. And I'm annoyed because this episode was ass, just like last week's episode, which is why I'm going to grade it a D+, which is not compared to last week's episode where I graded it a D-, which is basically an F. A D+ is kind of an F too, but this week's episode was trash. We didn't learn anything new. It was dull, it was bland, it's still dragging. It's not giving anything. It's just annoying at this point. I'm annoyed that I even got to do this shit all over again. But Last Chance is Tyler Perry's Sistas, Season 8, Episode 6. If you haven't seen it, turn this video off so you don't get spoilers. I don't know how you get spoilers anyway. It's the same shit we saw last week. But anyway, the episode begins where we left off in last week's episode, where Penelope and Jordan come to Andy's place to confront Andy. Penelope slaps Andy. Jordan gets in between them to intervene. This is when Penelope reveals that she snuck out of protective custody to come with Jordan. Then Jordan reveals that he is out of the running for city council because of his relationship with Andy and all the scandal that's going surrounding everything around him. Andy apologizes and says that she wanted to reach out, but of course she was advised not to by her counsel, which is when she reveals that Robin is her lawyer. Penelope begins to go off because Jordan's like your ex-boyfriend, and Penelope, she continues to go on and talk about how Andy ruined her and Jordan's lives. Penelope and Jordan then question Andy about why she was about to marry Gary. Andy doesn't answer, but tries to assure them that she wouldn't do anything to hurt them. They don't believe her, of course. Andy finally tells Jordan, which I felt like was dumb in this moment, because it's like, if you was going to tell them at any point, now is not the time to tell them when they already against you. She tells him now that she was marrying Gary because he was trying to blackmail her. And, of course, Penelope doesn't believe it. And out of nowhere, Penelope brings up back when Penelope and Gary were good, and when Jordan and Andy were good, and Andy and Jordan had Gary and Penelope over for dinner, and Penelope caught Gary in the bathroom masturbating to Andy's underwear. I don't know why she brought that up. I don't know what she thought. That kind of like proves the point even more that Gary was obsessed with Andy, and like that he was a weirdo ass nigga, and he would do anything to get with Andy. It kind of like proves the point even more. So I don't know where Penelope thought she was going with that. I don't know what she thought she ate with that. Like, I didn't get that, but that was kind of dumb. But Jordan, he believes that he's like, is this some type of kink that you and Gary share? Asking Andy that. And Andy's like, why would you even think that when I was in the living room with you the whole time that happened? I had no idea about that. So it was just like, that was dumb of Penelope to bring up. We cut away to the restaurant. Rich is now confronting Sabrina about declining his lunch invitation to be now seen with Danny at lunch, drinks, whatever. And before Sabrina could really even say anything, Tony kind of like starts confronting Danny about Danny wanting to tell Sabrina about the work opportunity or whatever the case, but not wanting to talk about it with him. And Danny's like, well, when we were at work, you literally told me to stop talking about it. So which one is it? Type shit, whatever the case may be. We get the tension that they're trying to build in this scene. So Sabrina asks the guys to join them. We cut away to the salon. The disgruntled customer woman who claimed that Rooster Riches wrecked her edges tells Marie Willis what's going on. Like, basically, she's saying that the product fucked her edges up. Marie is furious, telling Pam and Karen that they got some explaining to do. We cut away to the law office. Of course, Hayden is antagonizing Fatima. You better be nice to me. I'm your boss. Blase, blase. Robin's going to make me the head nigga in charge. Blase, blase. You shouldn't be doing your schoolwork on company time. Blase, blase, whatever. Then he drops a whole thing of files on her, tells her to go through Andy's case files, look for discrepancies. Fatima's like, I did all these cases with Andy. There are no discrepancies. Hayden's like, I don't care. Look anyway, basically, type shit. We go back to Andy's place. Penelope is now accusing Andy of planting evidence in Gary's office for her to find about the girl that Gary went to prom with that he supposedly assaulted, killed. I can't even remember the stories. I can't even remember what's supposed to have happened with the girl at the prom or whatever. So she's accusing Andy of that. Jordan is accusing Andy of, have you been playing me the whole time? And Andy's like, of course not. We go back to the restaurant. Rich and Sabrina are going back and forth. Tony and Danny are going back and forth. Sabrina, then everybody in the restaurant's looking at them. Sabrina finally shuts it all down. This is when Danny and Tony have a back and forth. Where, Danny's telling Tony, you tried to get me to do this job without consulting me first. And Tony's like, I was only looking out for your best interest. We have that back and forth with them too. We go back to the salon where the disgruntled customer woman finds out that Marie Willis is the investor of Rooster Riches. She starts talking about how she wants, she's going to sue for $400K or to get Karen's salon. And it's like, unless you want to settle for $350K. And I'm just still like, why are we even talking about this shit? This bitch has no lawyer, no proof, no documentation. It's just some blase, just talk. Like, it was just like, why are we even... I would have kicked the bitch out. I think I already said that. I would have kicked her out the salon. It wouldn't even have been a talk about. Like, she wouldn't even be able to be in there talking the shit that she talking. We go back to the law office. Of course, Fatima calls Zach to tell him about Hayden antagonizing her. Blase. We cut away back to the restaurant. Rich expresses to Sabrina how he feels like he's not her first priority, and that the girls are, and how Sabrina and Danny are always running to Andy's rescue. So Danny then asks Rich if he has some type of obsession with Andy, and Rich is just like, I don't like the way how you always run to her rescue, and she's bad news. She ruined Jordan's life. Blase. We know he don't like Andy. We go back to Andy's apartment. Penelope is threatening Andy now, which leads Andy to ask Penelope if she had anything to do with Gary's stabbing. Penelope and Jordan are all shocked and get defensive or whatever. Penelope tries to come at Andy again. Jordan then intervenes again. It's like, really, Andy taking off her earrings. You got the first one was free. It's like, it's so fake. Like, then Andy asks to speak with Jordan alone. We go back to the salon where Karen she accidentally or gets the chance to feel the woman's head, the disgruntled woman's head, and realizes that the woman shaved her edges off and just trying to like use them for a come up, trying to scam them. So this is when Marie turns and threatens to sue the woman for defamation. We go back to the law office. Fatima goes to Robin, tells him, Hayden has been going around saying that Andy is not coming back and that he's taking her spot, and that he wants Fatima to look through Andy's case files for discrepancies, and how Hayden's been torturing her and Andy since Robin has left, and how Hayden has all the partners fooled, and how she thought Robin would be different, and Robin's like, well, tell me more about what Hayden has been doing. So this scene was probably the best scene of the episode, which is why I gave it a D+ and not a D-, because like I've been saying, I feel like Duvall Ellis is the best actor on this show. So we get this scene. We all know that he has a son who's like special needs, and we haven't heard him speak since he's been casted on the show. So Zach gets home with baby Michael, and He's like, you want a snack before we do your homework? You want fish sticks or chicken nuggets? And the little boy finally speaks his first words, nuggets. And Zach is over the moon. He's like, you said nuggets. It was such a special, cute scene, relatable scene. And I feel like it was the best scene of the episode because everything else is just like blah. So we go back to Andy's. Jordan tells Penelope to go wait in the car. Of course, Penelope is against it, but she complies anyway. So when she leaves, Andy begins to say the same shit she was saying. I don't know why she wanted to talk to him in private. She's like, I apologize, I've been done with Gary, blase, blase. Of course, Jordan doesn't believe it, and he storms out. We go back to the salon. The disgruntled woman finally comes clean. It's like, it's a recession. I was just trying to come up. It's just like, really? This shit in real life would not fly. It's just like, make this shit believable at least. Like, so she takes her clan of protesters that was in there with her. They finally leave the salon. Karen feeling defeated and down and out. She's like, I know you probably want your money back, Miss Marie. Miss Marie tells her, like, don't even have that type of defeatist attitude, especially with you about to be a mother and you a business owner. You can't be thinking like that. Tells her to stop apologizing for stuff. She tells Karen and Pam that she wants a detailed business plan by the end of the week. And she also wants a quality insurance team to look at the ingredients to make sure that the product doesn't actually harm someone's hair this time. I mean, for real. So Marie storms out after telling them all of that. Mama Lisa comes in. She's like, who is that? So we go back to the restaurant. Sabrina is trying to be like trying to be like the mediator, the solver, whatever the case may be. She's like, we aren't getting anything resolved. And she turns to Rich. She tells him, you are a high priority on my list. And Tony's like, well, that's good, Sabrina, that you want to try to mediate things with your man. But Danny's the opposite. She doesn't want any resolve. This causes Danny to get up and leave. And Tony's like, well, good, then leave. And then when she leaves, Rich and Sabrina make Tony go after Danny. So then we get this final scene where Robin tells Fatima he wasn't aware of all the things that Hayden's been doing while he was gone. And that he will definitely sit down and have a conversation with Hayden. But in the meantime, Hayden is still her acting supervisor. So she has to make it work. Fatima is upset, of course, but she agrees to be a team player. Then she asks Robin if he has any leads to take suspicion off of Andy. And Robin's like, oh, yeah, of course. No, he said something like, yeah, sure I do. Pulls out a folder, hands it to Fatima. Fatima opens the folder. There's pictures of her getting pushed down by Gary's security. And Robin then asks Fatima, like, why were you getting kicked out of Gary's office the day he was stabbed? And that's how the episode ends. Like I said, the episode was so trash. The best scene was with Zach and his son. And that's why I would have to give it a D+. That's the only reason why I got the plus was because of Zach and his son. Like, the shit is dragging. Like, everything in this episode we already knew. It's just like, they're not surprising us. There's no shock and awe. It's just like, they're not doing anything to keep us entertained. Like, I don't know what they're doing with this season. It's just so trash. We see in the next episode that Robin and Andy are going to kiss or about to kiss or whatever the case may be. I mean, it's Andy. Are we surprised? We see in the next episode they finally find out that Gary got something put in his IV, but we already seen it as viewers. So it's just like, we already know what's going to happen. Hudson going to assume it's Andy. It's just like, it's just so much dumb shit. Like, it's just so much shit that we already know. We see Robin pull out this gun in front of Fatima. Does it have Fatima's prints on it? Like, whose gun is it? That's the only thing I'm kind of like, okay, whose gun is it? It can't be Fatima's gun. But now he's looking at Fatima like she's the number one suspect, and it's just like, everybody's a damn suspect. Food for thought. What if it actually is Andy because everybody thinks that it ain't Andy because that would be obvious? But what if it actually is Andy? Just some food for thought. That's just my thought. But like I said, this episode was another trash episode for me. I wasn't entertained. I was bored all the way through. I was annoyed I had to watch it. I'm annoyed that I had to review this again. But yeah, I would rate it a D+. those are my thoughts and what have yous for this week's episode and what's to come. Let me know in the comments what you thought of this week's episode, what you would grade it, all that stuff. Let me know in the comments. Yeah, like and subscribe to the channel. I need over 300 subscribers, which isn't even a lot, but it helps my channel build if you just like and subscribe. If you just sat here for 15 minutes and watched all of this, then you could definitely hit the like button and the subscribe button, which takes less than 5 seconds to do. It's free and it's anonymous, and I can go on and on about how easy it is to support my channel. But yeah, like and subscribe, comment below. Thanks for watching this review, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.